Okay. Are we taking pictures first?
Well, it's a story.
Oh.
it was gonna be organic.
Never mind. My bad. I got ready. Well, hello, everybody. I'm so excited to have you here for a meeting of the minds. This is a wonderful platform put on by Lifted Clothing Co., which is a space that we have come together to link like-minded individuals, have wonderful conversations, and really meet the minds. Have them meet and see what we can grow all together. I'm so excited. I have this fabulous panel of amazing women, and we're going to talk about the stories, about their stories, about women who have lived stories that have changed our life. And I want them to start off by introducing themselves.
Hey y'all, my name is attorney Rachel Althea, and I am from Henry County, Georgia.
Hi guys, I'm Brittany Shanae Guerin, originally from Queens, New York, but I rep Conyers, Georgia out here. I'm a mom, I'm a curator, I'm a producer, I'm a photographer. I dabble and dabble in the arts. Thank you guys for being here. And this is my son right here. If we can all be a community and tell him to sit down when it's time for him to sit down, thank you so much. A village.
I love that. I forgot to introduce myself. Hey everybody, I'm Jessica A. Ross, Mrs. Jamgood, and I'm excited because I'm a mind that loves and knows that conversation is the way that we actually expand our world. When we get conversation from other people, we get new words, new vernaculars, and we are broadened in terms of what we get to think about. So, thinking about broader lives, what would you say that a woman's story can add to the broadening of the lives of all the women who live?
I love hearing, when I hear the stories, it makes me feel a little bit better. Like, oh, okay, I know that this journey is not supposed to be easy. It's not going to be easy. For instance, Taraji P. Henson's story popped up on Instagram about her moving to LA with like $70 in her bank account and her son. And I'm like, okay, I could do this. It's been done before. You know what I mean? It's been done by a woman like me too. So I think that it's super important for sure.
I love that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's important to see other successful women and just listen to other people's stories so you can feel inspired to keep going and push through whatever it is that you have going on. And then you can reach back and inspire other women. So it's like a running circle. It just keeps going and going.
I love that. Now, you are powerful women. I can feel your energy up here. Who in your life has inspired you to be so powerful? And what stories did they live that showed you that power was something that you could have too?
Yeah.
Tell you, meeting of the minds. Let's get deep. Let's go right into it.
Get to the juice. Did you want to go first?
You can go ahead.
Well, the first person that popped in my mind is my mom. My mom has been a pillar in my life, of course, since the beginning. I've seen her juggle a lot of things and make it look effortless. You know what I mean? But now that I'm a mom, I see that it wasn't effortless, and I see that it took a lot of work, and she probably cried a lot when we went to sleep. You know what I mean? And even now, I ask her, I'm like, how the hell did you do that with 2 kids? You know? But my mom, my grandmothers, the matriarchy in my family is absolutely incredible. A lot of them did it on their own, even though I would say like that's probably not the most positive thing. I'm sure that wasn't how it was supposed to be planned. You know what I mean? But talking to them and being able to know that it just takes a lot of grace and it for yourself, and I'm grateful for them. I need to do a better job this month at honoring them for their sacrifices. You know what I mean? I don't even know if that answers the question, but that's what came out.
Conversation is about that. Because whatever the question that I asked inspires in you was necessary for this moment. It was necessary for the beginning of whatever dialogue that we have. In all honesty, sometimes my questions are so esoterically broad so that whatever you feel makes you feel best in answering. So please, like, there's no right. Just give me you.
Yeah. So I would say to
like
me though.
that.
Yeah.
There's no right.
There is no right. It just is.
Just you.
Period.
You need to trademark that. For me, I think there's so many people that come to my mind because there's people that I haven't met that I've read in books, and I just feel like anything that you want to learn, you can read it in a book or get on YouTube or get on a podcast. So there's like a lot of women that I listen to daily that I've never met a day in my life, but they have impacted my life because they just put out so much good content, especially like on financial podcasts, just like different like things that I read, and I'm like, oh, like this is cool. Or like just watching the news, like the first Black Supreme Court justice, like that really inspired me because when I went to law school, we didn't read any books or decisions where, you know, there was somebody who looked like me making the decision or having an impact on the decision. So for me, like to see that and then see like a Black female vice president, like these are things where I'm like, you're seeing it as an adult for the first time, but like it feels like you're a kid because you're just so inspired because you're like, I've never seen this before. So just like the people that you never met before, the people I've met that I have friends, sorority sisters, my best friends, like that's why I'm here now. One of my best friends' friends and like linked me with y'all. Like those people, they make an impact on your life, like, you know, over time. So I think it's just a lot of different, I couldn't like pinpoint one specific person. So like my own mom, my grandma, my aunts, like I think it's just a collaborative effort, and that's what gets me where I keep going to the next, you know, whatever the next level is because I just keep getting more help from different people. So
well, I love that because what I heard from that is that no one woman's story impacts only one person. That all the women impact all the people that they're in their lives. It's a communal thing, and you living your life is going to affect somebody else. So tell me why you live the story you live.
I think every day the story changes. Like I don't, especially as an entrepreneur, there's no set schedule as to what the story is. I think I just have morals that I live by. And if it falls outside of the morals, then I just don't do it, or hey, I can't, you know, assist you with that. But I think the story just changes every day. And I think you live the story based on what you want your life to look like or how you want to impact other people. So that's what I try to live by. It's like, hey, okay, well, what do I want to get done today? Who can I help today? And just try to live like that. And every day I just start over and do it again, I guess.
I was just having a conversation with my friend Simone, who actually did the tattoo, and I told her I think I'm having an existential crisis, but not in like a way to where it's negative. I don't think that those are negative, right? But it's really like, okay, what are my intentions? Because right now, honestly, I'm just going wherever God is leading me. Okay. I don't know where I'm going, but okay. I trust, you know what I mean? It feels good. It's fun for the most part. And so, yeah, I just want to continue to follow what feels good. Yeah.
Now, in the society that we've lived in thus far, because again, it's made up of people, and it's only a collection of people thus far, the common thought has been that there is a place for a woman. Talk to me about how you've seen women kind of create their own place and how you're doing that for yourselves.
I feel like I did that here. I kind of, what did they say, moseyed my way on in. Okay, here. Said I'm going to be in here because this is where I feel like I need to be. But that was not an easy, it wasn't easy, but definitely worth it. And so a lot of the times what I'm recognizing is that women constantly have to prove that they are strong enough to be in certain spaces. And right now I am working on the balance between what is strong, like, do I always have to be strong? Can I be strategic and still vulnerable and cry when when something doesn't feel good, So yeah, even finding my way in the art world is very male dominated. So I constantly have to go back to like, what feels good? What are my intentions, right? Because if I can say that my intentions are for the community, then it's much easier for me to work through whatever difficulty or obstacle that I'm facing. And then what does, a lot of the times for me, I'm like,
That's some big girl stuff. I don't know if y'all just heard what she said. Did y'all just hear that? Can we give her some energy? Cause like that is self-awareness, that is self-control, and like our community doesn't speak about the fact that our parents never got parented. Like what? I mean, and not to say that there wasn't love, there wasn't care, there wasn't community, there wasn't some portion of life that we did get together and did get right.
Right.
But the fact that you are able to allow for yourself to reparent yourself and love yourself now, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And what good grace you're giving your son, because there's now a gap between the stuff that was not good and not right and what he gets. Yes. Okay.
Ooh, so I think I see it I see it every day. I mean, everywhere you look, like women are doing whatever they want to do. Like, in my life, in my profession, only like 5% of attorneys are black and only 2% of attorneys are African American females. But I never actually feel like it's only 2% because I know so many black female attorneys, and we all kind of like stick together and help each other. And we all have our own law firms, and that's not a
right. That's energy too. Okay. Yes, drop that mic.
Yeah.
But I think just surrounding yourself with people who are trying to get to wherever it is they're trying to go to help people that have positive energy. Not just, I know we're talking about women, but even men, like the men that have law firms that help us so that we can get in certain spaces or tell us information that we might not have known. I think that's what ends up helping everybody, and so that you can reach back and try to help somebody else.
I like it. You spoke about books earlier in terms of the way to get knowledge. If you were to have like a book of your life, one, what would be the title? And then what would you want people to get from reading the story that you lived?
Mine would be Wild Women. I actually have it tattooed.
Oh, wow.
And it would be a good combination between the book Women Who Run with Wolves and The Alchemist. I think that the women that run with wolves is like a Bible for women, and no offense to that, but it tells the stories about how women have been domesticated over time, and basically it's a guide to set yourself free. And I think The Alchemist kind of follows the same exact journey, basically with following your personal legend, right? Like choosing your own path and having the faith that, you know, once you choose to do the thing that you really want to do, the thing that you've dreamed of multiple times, that you just have to see it through, even through the danger, even through the unknown, even through the fear. You just got to see it through, because if you don't see it through, that will cause much more suffering than the actual suffering you go through following your dreams. So yeah, those two, Wild Women. Might be a movie, guys. Don't steal that idea. But yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
I want to watch that movie.
Right? Me too.
Yes.
Low key, can I be one of the actors?
Of course.
Wild Woman number 7.
I love it.
If I had a book about my life, I don't even think it would have a title, because the title would change. Like, I change my mind a lot, and if it's a different way to do something that's better, then I'm going to change it. Like, I'm not going to keep doing what's wrong. If I found out today that I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, this method doesn't work, then it's time to change it. I'm not going to keep doing it. So I don't think it would have a title per se. Maybe each chapter could probably have a title, but the overall book would probably be blank. The front page of it, just because I don't think there's a title that would fit it, because everything just kind of changes the way my mind is. No, I'm best friends with a lot of Libras.
That's a Libra trait.
I'm that Capricorn.
Oh wow! Wow. Okay.
I know, right?
And I'm over here like, I have no idea what that means. Yeah, they get it. As long as they get it.
Wait, so what are you?
I'm a Libra.
Oh, okay.
So I'm always changing too, but I love a spontaneous Capricorn. That's what's up. For every evolving Capricorn, I'll say that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I don't think, I can't think of a title. But it would probably be about, I guess, just figuring things out. Like, I'm all about figuring stuff out as you go and asking questions. Like, approach it, but I just don't feel like you have all the answers to most things in life. You just gotta kind of figure it out. You can't say what you would do because you've never been in that situation before. Like, I just try to live my life by just like having a moral code more so. So maybe each chapter would have some kind of moral in it or value. I like to read a lot of books like Relentless by like Tim Glover, like those kind of books where it's like more about your mindset. Because I think if you can control your mind, you can get to wherever you're trying to go. So I don't really have a good answer for that.
No, I think that was, again, no right, no wrong. Wasn't that perfect, everybody? Did you get it? You got it. I'm telling you, there is no right and wrong. Whatever you get inspired to say is exactly what's needed. And to be honest, I think that is the main point of Lifted, like the clothing brand, is to get you to remember that your mind has the answers that it needs. You're fine. That was great. Give yourself a pat on the back. Like, that was good.
And it would sell.
Oh my
God.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Untitled book. Just blank, like.
That blank book cover, I would be interested.
Just to see what was that.
Cover to judge it by.
Right, and then all the chapters have something like you're supposed to learn from them. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Maybe I'll write that down on my.
Do it. I'm all about positive peer pressure.
Make sure you give us some credit.
Right, 10%, 10%.
I was just about to say Lifted.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Co-branded. There we go.
She's an attorney though, so we got.
Okay, well you can write it up. See, look, there we go. She can write it up. That's easy. I like it. We solved it. Very good. Very good. And I love how you talked about questions because, to be honest, conversations are sparked by questions. When you don't know something or when you want to know something more, you have the conversation about it.
Right.
Please tell me the best question you've ever been asked.
Why? I think that's the best question anybody can ask. Why? You can always ask that question, and there should always be some type of answer. Even like little kids, like they ask why, and then people get irritated, but it's a valid question, and it has like it makes you think. Like you can't just say stuff to say it. If they ask why, you gotta explain it. So now you have to think like, well, maybe I should reassess what I said, or maybe I shouldn't say it because I don't know what the why is. So I think why is the best question that anybody can ask.
Very cool.
So let me take the mic.
Yes, do that. And actually, you want to do it too, so you can be heard. Can y'all hear?
I recently lost a really big opportunity, and the opportunity, it's a huge opportunity. And I was asked by the person who helped me get the opportunity, did you put your best foot forward? And in his opinion initially it was no, but that's not up for him to decide. So when he asked me that question, I said, absolutely. 120%, I always put my best foot forward. And I think that is the perfect question for me to continue to ask myself, because then it's not a lost opportunity, right? It just wasn't for me.
Either this good or better.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say that was the most important question that I think I've ever been asked. Did you really try your best? Did you put your best foot forward? So yeah, I'll stick to that.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so I believe we have time for one more question amongst the panel, and then we're going to do open to everybody.
Yeah, open up to the audience.
Okay, all right. Final question. If you could tell the younger you something to really give her a leg up, because you know we over here trying to help the little people now. Like if you could give her a leg up, what would you say to her? And then what physical gesture would you give her to make her feel safe?
Repeat that one more time. I want to make sure I get this one right.
If you were going to tell her something to give her a leg up, what would it be? And then what physical gesture would you give? And I'll give an example if you like.
Sure.
Okay, I would tell little Jessica, it's okay to not be okay, because one day you're okay will be everything you need to be okay. And the physical gesture that I give her. You got it. Yeah.
Hold on, do it one more time.
Okay. My physical gesture for little Jessica would be, you got this. You got this.
I would tell little Brittany, you have survived 100% of your bad days. And then I would give her a nice back massage.
Nice.
Just so she knows you need those every once in a while.
Mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? So yeah.
This is hard.
Remember, there's no right.
I know, right? So many things you could say though.
Mhm.
You said one though, so. I think I would say keep asking questions. Like you get the answers, and the answers get you to where you're supposed to go. And I actually would give her a hug. But I would just say keep asking questions. Ask more questions, actually.
I love that. I love that. Now, did you all feel the love that we just kind of conjured up for ourselves? The beautiful thing about conversations is it mixes up energy. Like you never really realize, but your words, your meanings, your emotions, the thing that you have going on inside you, that's what we're passing on to people as we're meeting them and having these meetings of the minds. So, speaking of passing, I'm passing it over to you all. You like that segue, right? Yeah, the girl is good at this. I'm having so much fun. I would love to know if you all have any questions for our panelists tonight. Oh, 3 hands in the back. And that was simultaneous. Y'all should do it again. Can you do it? Can you do it? 3, 2, 1. Yes, they did it again. Yes.
Hello, panel.
Hey,
I'm
Stretch.
My question, I'm curious. Times are changing, and women are at the forefront of many industries doing amazing things. And it's beautiful to see because I came up in a household kind of similar to Marcel. Like my mom raised myself and my sister, and she did everything. And in my mind, I've always envisioned partnership where there was equal contribution from men and women. So in what ways do you all see men and women working together to make effective progress for their respective communities?
That's a great question.
I want to hear your answer too, Jessica. It's not just for them.
Copy.
Yes.
Understood. Boss said I got an answer too. Well, you got an answer?
Yeah,
Okay, go for it.
and it's funny that he asked this question because I feel like we found a nice dance here at Peter Street Station. I think that this has been the most beautiful collaboration that I've had with men as far as career. I was an educator, and that collaboration with men was not. That one was a little oof. But yeah, for instance, Stretch, I don't know what I would do here without Stretch. You know what I mean? And it is the balance between us. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful tango, and just making sure that you good. You know what I mean? Like the checks and balance. And then I would also say with curating, we have an amazing contractor, Jamie. And my show here, Rebirth, that Miss Erin was in. Woo! Yeah, I don't think that I would have been able to even have a beautiful show without his contribution. We even worked together on this exhibition. So, yeah. What else did you have in that question?
Yeah, what ways do you see us working together to advance our communities?
So, like I said, I think that we are doing that here, right? Like, bringing together thousands of people. But I think that the key to it is respect and understanding and empathy, right? Like, what I'm learning is to also meet people where they are, and not always have my expectations of where I believe that people should be. And so I think that once we have those things down, then the dance can be a little bit smoother, right? Because I feel like a lot of the times, I realized when I was a teacher that no one was gonna give me a break just because I was a mom, right? But what I did expect was for people to meet me where I was. And I feel like that's being done here, and that's why things are flowing the way that, that they're flowing. So yeah, just respect, empathy, understanding, and releasing expectations. Yeah.
For me, I grew up in a 2-parent household, so my parents have been married for 30 years, almost 31 in May. So I like grew up seeing what the 50-50 idea that people keep saying in the household, but I feel like it was really 100-100 because both my parents, they put a lot of effort into me and my brother. They made sure we had everything that we needed, and they still do that to this day. So, and when I kind of conversate with people and they have this like, oh, well, it should be this, I don't really understand that because I grew up where it was like, okay, well, we got to eat. Somebody, either my dad or my mom is gonna cook. Like, we're not sitting here trying to figure out who's gonna do it. I don't even remember who, like in my mind, it feels like they both did. Like, I can't even segregate that in my mind or who washed this or who did that. So for me, it's the same like in my business. Like, I have a lot of like male attorneys that is something, like if I need help or if I have a question, when I call, they're answering and they're gonna help me. Like, and they're going to give me the answer that I need. And if I can't go to court, they're gonna go for me, and vice versa. And like, my firm wouldn't do as well without them, like, because they have more experience, they have more knowledge than me, and they're helping me because they want to see my community and me do well. Like, that's the whole purpose why we do this job, you know? So for me, I've seen it in a lot of ways where it's like there's a lot of black male attorneys who say this is wrong, this is what I'm going to do to help, and whatever you need, they're going to give it to you. That's just been my experience. And they're going to stay up late, they're going to do a lot of work, and they're going to make sure that you get a good result. And if you don't get a good result, it's just because that's just the way it turned out. Like, you can't control what a jury does at the end of the day. So I've seen a lot of collaboration with like black men and women trying to help each other, helping each other. And that's honestly how my firm has been doing so well, is because I have people that I can call, and those people are men, and they don't look down on me because I'm a woman. They help me, and then if they need something, I help them. So it just kind of reminds me of like what I've seen my whole life. And I think that if we can keep doing that, then things will just keep getting better if we just all keep helping each other and not trying to split stuff up. Like, this is what this person's supposed to do. That, like, we should just do it because it needs to be done, you know? So.
I would say my answer to that is similar to the 100%. The only way to have like an equal partnership contribution is if each partner has a contribution.
Absolutely.
Like, each person understanding who it is that they are, and they come to this place of offering, here I am, to this thing that we together are working on. Right. You know, if you take it relationship, here we are, this relationship, this community, here we are, this community, this building, here we are, this building. Whatever we have, it's equal when the person says, I have this to offer, the other person says, I have this to offer, and y'all offer it with a continued communication of what is needed to get to the desired results. And so for me in the black community, that would come to women being able to love who they are and love who they're not. Men being able to love who they are and love who they're not. And both people not trying to be who they will never be. Men will never be women in terms of you're born this way. If you do something else, that's a doctor's help. That's still not that, but I love. And the opposite way around, like, we need to be where we are, who we are, accepting of what this is, so that when we go into any situation, we're bringing all that we can. And I feel like that's the only way that our community will ever really exchange this rate of life for a higher level one, when we see it, because of course we have to be able to envision it before we can ever get it. But I think also the envisioning of being on the same side. Like, I don't need to fight you. There's no reason. Me and you we here together. We doing this together. Right. And even if I don't know you, like, I don't know you, I didn't know you, but you helped me out. That's what I think would breed what you're talking about. Other people just recognizing that, hey, you're a human, so you and I, we're on the same team. You know, like the Game of Thrones, the North is coming. Like, who is our collective enemy? That which is not happy for us. So if we can get on the side of let's be happy, let's feel good all together, I think that's what it is. Very long answer, but
no,
yes.
That, just like you said, that was a perfect answer. But that key part is like taking out the competition, right?
For sure.
Because I feel like a lot of the times when men think of women in charge, they think that we're trying to take them out of the equation completely. I don't think that we'll have a balanced society without men, obviously.
Right.
Or we would have just been all born women. So I feel like once we have more conversations like this, that there is realistically like the competition part, you know, but historically we have been made to compete. So
I mean, that's profitable.
Exactly.
It makes money when we're not on the same team and we don't live in the same house. There are more taxes that have to be paid when we're in different houses.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So it makes sense.
Divide and conquer.
It does for that. So what we have to do is remember that our dollar is more powerful together.
It is.
Our money, our mind is more powerful, because that's like the thing that God has given us that no man or no thing, no anything can take away. And are embracing the fact that as divine beings, and I mean this is regardless of your faith, you're walking, you're living, plants are divine, so are you, kind of thing. When we tap into that and allow for what we have to bring to be brought to one centerfold, and even if we don't agree, but we want a better life, everybody's gonna live better. That's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I think also too, like men who allow opportunities for women to like speak and be like in situations like here today. That's how you benefit your own community. Is like if you have some kind of like space where you can help, you know, other people come into that space. That's how we better each other and help each other. So whatever it is that you do, like it's somebody who wants to do it too. And if you could just reach back and help one person, they help one person. That's just, it makes everything better for everybody.
I love that.
Yeah.
We had another audience question. Bow.
What advice would you give to a woman who is in your industry, or just who's trying to make it in any particular industry?
Okay.
Know your why, because if you don't know your why, you can be led in directions that do not align with your soul intent. And always, if you ever, for me, like whenever I get anxious about something, I ask myself, what are your intentions? Because then if my intentions in my mind, if I'm nervous, then I'm probably rooted in a lot of ego at that point. But if it is for the community, then I have nothing to fear realistically. So yes, always know what your why is, and that why is going to get you through any obstacle. And if it doesn't, that means that maybe you need to reconsider what your why is.
I would say never be afraid to ask for help. Like there's no such thing as a stupid question. And if you ask that question to 5 people, somebody's gonna help you. Like, so don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It doesn't matter what field you're in. Like, you can look stuff up online. You can read books. Like, you can email people that's in your field. Somebody will sit down with you and talk to you, and that could be the thing that changes your entire life just because you talk to that one person. So my thing would be, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because the worst they could do is say no. But if they say yes, you just gain some knowledge, and maybe they'll link you with somebody else who can help you. So that's what I would advise.
I think that is huge, and it's something that this year I had to lose everything and really nothing to realize that it is okay to ask for help and receive help and be coddled and loved on. I think a lot of us carry that trope of like the strong black woman, because a lot of us saw our moms do everything, but that's not how it's supposed to be. So that's huge. Thank you for reiterating that.
I think my advice would be to continue forward, because one day it's an idea, and then one day it's Walmart.
Period.
Or Amazon.
I mean, one day you're in your garage, and then the next you're on the moon or wherever he went.
Yeah.
You know, like, so your consistency will get you there as long as you don't stop, because the end goal, being the goal, gets you the goal.
Right, absolutely.
Just go and keep going, because one day it's Walmart. And the only reason why I say Walmart is because you know Walmart. You know Walmart. Everybody knows Walmart. one day it's Walmart.
I think that a lot of the times on like social media right now, we see like, I think the illusion is that it's just going to be this easy road. Like another thing that I would tell people is that there is not one famous or successful person that I didn't hear that they didn't have a bad part of their journey. Steve Harvey was homeless. Oprah got fired from her. So like wherever you're at, just be like, damn, I'm where Oprah was when she lost her job. So I'm gonna be okay.
I'm where Tyler Perry was at his first plate. You know what I'm saying? And look at him now. There is an exit sign with his name on it.
Exactly.
You know? I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Final question. Because it's 8:20.
Any of you all have questions?
So I grew up in a household of a lot of siblings, mostly sisters. What is something that I find one thing that I am constantly doing is encouraging? What is something that you would say that gets you motivated or going on a daily basis? Or is there tactics you do, or when you wake up, what do you do to get your day started to get you motivated for like on a daily basis and not just overall?
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, okay. I'll start. I get up before everybody else in my house. Before everybody else. And I spend time with God. I pray. I write. Sometimes I stretch and move my body. Sometimes I go back to California, if you know what I mean. And I allow myself to center with what I know the day will bring, which is good things, good experiences, fun conversations, lots of laughs, and I dump into myself what I want the day to dump on me. I call it a daily deposit when it's like when I go to the gym or something like that. But every day when I wake up, I deposit as much good stuff. I have ebooks or like, audiobooks that I listen to on a regular basis that have the mindset that I want to keep. Even the vernacular, sometimes I will pick out books so that I, on that day, will use words in ways that I haven't before. Just give me what I want before the day starts, because God has promised it's good. So then now I'm looking for it. And I remember that he promised. Because sometimes you got to remind yourself it's promised. Because if you forget, you go out and then you see something happen and you're like, oh no. But then you got to remember, it's promised. All things are working out for good. Even this is good. Oh, and then I want to end with a story at the end of it all, if that's cool.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I am, I realize that I'm a little chaotic, so it is very hard for me to wake up early. I'll be trying, man, but I'll be rolling out of bed right with them. I have 3 things that I do right. I just had to accept that's not who I am right now.
Yeah, and
maybe in like 10 years.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll just give myself that. I have 3 things as for my routine, especially those mornings where I'm like, fuck, excuse my language. But sorry.
He's like, swear jar mommy right now.
So we do our morning affirmations every single day. And I'll have him do it sometimes. And the top ones that we do are I am kind, I am healthy, and I am confident. And I'm gonna have a great day. And it helps me too, even though he probably doesn't even realize that. The other 2 are visuals. I have had a dream for a long time of him and I going to Paris. So, and he's already been there, and I've been there, but separately. So it's possible, right? So I have that vision in my mind. And then the third thing is me on the beach. So I try to, seriously. So a lot of the motivation that I get is like where I would like to be and where I've been that felt good. You know what I mean? And that keeps me motivated. Yeah, honestly, sometimes, most of the times, every time, I'm grateful for him because he keeps me in a space to where I'm like, all right, I'm only, I'm getting better.
Body up during that time and there's no distractions. But what I typically do when I had a really good morning routine is I try to get up and like listen to the podcast, motivational speeches like you were saying. I like Eric Thomas because he says that I will, I can, I must. And he says that over and over again, and I just hear that in my head all the time. And I'm like, oh, let me wake up and listen to E.T. because you just feel like you have to get up when you talk. Like when you listen to him, you can't just
He's screaming at you.
listen to him and then not do nothing. Like,
He's screaming at you.
you listen to E.T., you gotta get up. You gotta make something shake. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
Yes.
So I'm like, on days where I don't feel like getting up, I'm like, oh, let me put E.T. on so he can get my mind right. And then I just try to go from there. Like, okay, like what do we have to do today? Let's get these good vibes going. Like, what can I do to make somebody's life better today? And then just
That's
go.
a great question.
Go from there.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a soul question.
Can I give you just a moment? I want you all to just take in this energy. Feel your body. Feel that buzz. Feel your mind. Do you feel that? That was a meeting of the minds. Okay, all right. Thank you. I be having so much fun with what I do. And so I want to leave you all with a story, okay? Because the whole night was about a story. And so there was a long time ago, ancient China, there was a farmer and his wife, and they were living with his son on this farm, right? And one random day, the horse of the farm ran away. And the whole village was so sad. They came and brought food. They were like, oh no, we're so sorry for your loss. And the farmer was like, thank you so much for your kindness, but who knows what's good or bad. A week later, the horse comes back with like 15 other horses. The whole village like, yeah, we partying, we about to barbecue. We're so excited for your goodness. This is blessings for the whole village. And the farmer again says, oh, we're so excited for your kindness. You know, they party, but who knows what's good or bad. Like 3 weeks later, the farmer's son falls off one of the random horses. And then again, the village is like, oh, we're so sad, we're so sorry. Because the son is the one who does the work on the farm. How you gonna survive? Again, the farmer says, who knows what's good or bad. The very next day, the Chinese army sends a soldier recruiter to the village and goes to the farmer's house. We need your eldest son. And the farmer's son walks up on the crutches. And the farmer says, who knows what's good or bad? Because he didn't have to go. He couldn't go. He was hurt. But who knows what's good or bad?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I went invisible.
It's funny that you just told the story. Literally on my walk today, my friend and I were talking about like how all of our bad days and all of our obstacles have led to even better opportunities.
Exactly.
Even though we can't see it, and who knows the amount of time that it will take in order. Yeah, so beautiful story.
Yes.
Thank
Who
you.
knows what's good or bad? And the thing is I will remind you that you get to choose. We have that atom power when it comes to calling things. We get to call it good or bad. And I'd encourage you to call it as good as you can because it just keeps getting better and gooder. Gooder. You know, you felt it. I know y'all felt it. Y'all knew that. All right, well, thank you all again. Let's give our panelists a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming. Give yourself. And let's welcome Malcolm to the stage.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab a mic and say a couple of words. First off, I don't know if this is
not on.
Check. It's on. All right. So first off, I want to thank you all for coming out on this Thursday evening, battling traffic, finding parking, all of the obstacles that it took to get here. Who knows what's good or bad? Secondly, I want to thank our incredible panelists for just being very insightful, inspiring, and original, and just opening up and allowing you all into their minds for the meeting of the minds. And then lastly, but certainly not leastly, I want to give it up for our hostess with the mostest. Typically, I moderate the discussions, and Leslie knows I can be very tight-gripped with certain things and not trusting or not allowing other people to do things, but I very confidently trusted Jessica with the task, and she did that. So give it up for Jessica, and give it up for the panelists, and then give it up for yourselves, and then also two special thanks to Leslie, our product manager. She's responsible for this incredible piece that I'm wearing that I always get compliments on. Yeah, so, and so we have more things coming. So, as Jess did mention, we are a clothing company, and we basically focus on mental elevation and mental empowerment, but also building a community of creative thought leaders so that we can get together and just continue to put out good into the world. And then the clothes are kind of a signal to each other in the community, right? So when you see someone wearing lifted, or you see a sticker, or you see a button, then you know that you all have some of the similar values. So the next thing that we have coming up, that's a community-driven event, will be our Lifted Yoga session. That's gonna be April 16th, Sunday, at 11 a.m. It's gonna be sponsored by a coffee company, so there'll be coffee out there. So you can come out there, get your stretch on, get some coffee, start your day, or go back home and go to sleep. And that's pretty much it. I just wanna thank you all again, and have a good evening. Get home safely.
Yay, that was great.
Leslie, would you mind taking a picture of us?
All right, go sit down. We gotta take a picture. Thank you for being decent.
He helped me out on the production tip. You might gotta do skill. Might gotta put you to work, my man.
Go sit down right here.
Are we sitting or?
Standing,
Wanna sit,
sitting.
stand? What do you think?
I can be Charlie from Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, it is. One, two. One more. 1, 2, 3.
You want one too, Leslie?
Aw.
No? All right.
No, I'm
Well,
just kidding. Not
You know, want to document this history?
absolutely.
You know, you got such a beautiful
Her
face.
shot.
We have
Her
a comedy
shot.
night happening at 9 o'clock if you guys want to stay. It's a free event.
Also,
No pressure.
in the meantime, there's a beautiful art gallery in the back as well. Beautiful
Yes,
exhibit.
please check it out. You can go upstairs. I have my own self-portrait up there as well.
Either one of them.
Oh, you know what? Let's do a good job. I love the chemistry that all three of y'all have.
Like, can it be longer?
I know. I mean, hey, part two. Also, too, we just got, to your point, longer. I feel like it could have went deeper.
Yeah.
But I was saying how I like you all's chemistry.
Oh yeah, we
Very
goodbye.
I'm like, wow.
And then when you said take in how you feel, I literally felt the vibration.
That's why I told you to take it in, because I was like, yo, I feel this.
You felt this, so you knew that it was permeating throughout the room.
Absolutely, because I
We
couldn't
were
be
getting
the only
lifted.
one. Right,
We were
definitely
getting
were.
lifted.
I could
Yeah.
not be the only one.
Right,
I could
right.
not. And for those of you who don't tune into YouTube, thank you so very much. This is your girl, Mrs. Jamgood, Jessica A. Ross. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, because I really do care. I'll see you later. This camera's going out.
Oh, that must have just happened because it was
It was going on.
yeah. The whole